Welcome to Generation Gap Sports. I'm Marlon,
My name is Elion.
and today we're going to talk about a very controversial question. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Fame quarterback? You ready to get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. All right, so first off, we're just going to ask, if he retired today, would Russell Wilson be a Hall of Famer? I know he's had a tough year in Denver, but he had a great year in career in Seattle. So we're going to ask, and we're going to discuss, if Russell Wilson never threw another football, would he get to the Hall of Fame in 5 years? I'm going to let Elian start off giving his opinions of this now.
Well, this is a tough one. It's hard. It's kind of hard not to put Russell Wilson in the Hall of Fame with the resume he currently has. Like he's been an MVP nominee like more than once. So and he has a Super Bowl, and he 2 consecutive times he went to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So it's.
I know you're giving your argument, but I'm going to have to stop you right there. Did you know Russell Wilson has never gotten a single MVP vote in his career?
He doesn't?
Nope.
Well, people thought he would.
He probably should have, I will admit to that, but he actually has never gotten one.
Oh, well, I think he should have. I mean, he's in his career, he's had some great years as a player. And
yeah.
Someone with 250 plus touchdown passes, I think it's a little hard not to put them in the Hall of Fame because I mean, he's been a very good player. I guess we're just too used to him. He just plays with the same team like his whole career, and he didn't really switch a play style. So when he went to the Broncos, they used him a little differently than they did in Seattle, and that didn't really go so well for him. But I think it's kind of hard not to put him in the Hall of Fame.
So let me be clear. You're saying that if Russell Wilson never throws another pass, never runs with the football again, he'll be in the Hall of Fame in 5 years.
Yes, but I do not think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we can agree with that. You want to hear what I think? Okay, I did a lot of thinking about this one, and I did a lot of research. So you're going to see me read some notes, okay? Because one of the things I looked at was, did he have an MVP vote or anything like that? And no, he may not have had any MVP votes, but in his first 10 seasons, he was a Pro Bowler 9 times. Russell Wilson has played 11 seasons, so if we count this last Denver season, he's been a Pro Bowler 9 out of 11 seasons. You mentioned the 250 touchdowns. He's actually thrown 308 touchdowns in his career. And he's thrown for over 40,000 yards with only 98 picks. Now, it's hard to compare Russell Wilson or any quarterback of this era to older eras, but let's look at a couple quarterbacks who are in the Hall of Fame now, like Troy Aikman and Kurt Warner. It's not close. Like their stats, I know Kurt Warner didn't play as long, but you would think Troy Aikman played a different game because Russell Wilson's already passed all those stats by far with better numbers than Troy Aikman. So comparing them to older quarterbacks when the game was played a little different, even in the 90s and the early 2000s, doesn't work well because if you did that, he's easily in the Hall of Fame. He's got way better stats than all those guys. So I was trying to think about what quarterbacks would be good to compare him with that are playing now that we think are going to get in the Hall of Fame. And the first name that came up to me was, you want to guess? Or quarterbacks that recently retired or are playing now that are going to go to the Hall of Fame. That we think are going to go to the Hall of Fame.
That are like Russell Wilson?
Yes. That are his contemporaries, basically. Russell's 34, so his career isn't he only has a few more years left. Okay, I'll hold you in suspense. The first name I thought of was Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah.
Because he played most of his career overlapping with Russell Wilson. What were you gonna say?
I think that Ben Roethlisberger, I think he had a way better career than Russell Wilson did.
You'd think that. So I went and looked up Ben Roethlisberger's career stats, and I don't think anybody's gonna argue that Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer. So I thought he'd be a good comparison with Russell. So Ben played 18 years, so he's got 7 years on Russ. He's only thrown 100 more touchdowns than Russ. Russ is averaging 28 touchdowns a year. If he plays 3-4 more years and maybe only averages 20 of those years, he's going to be right there with them, even playing less years. Ben Roethlisberger has 64,000 yards. You know, Russ is averaging 3,500 yards a year, his passing. You know, if he plays like 4 more years, it's another 12,000. He won't be too far behind there either. And where he's really got Ben Roethlisberger beat is Ben Roethlisberger threw 211 picks. I don't think Russell's going to retire throwing 211 picks.
I mean, Russell, in his career, he doesn't even average 10 picks a season.
Yep.
And a lot of other quarterbacks, including Josh Allen, do.
Yep, he averages 28 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. Even in his down year in Denver, and he didn't even play all the games, Russ still threw for 3,500 yards, 16 touchdowns. He did throw 11 picks, which is more than he normally does. But if that's a down year for your quarterback, even if he had those numbers going forward, he'd be okay. So what am I saying? I'm saying I think Russell Wilson would be in the Hall of Fame even if he never threw another pass. Let's compare him to another person who's going to get discussed eventually, Matthew Stafford. And his stats are similar to Matthew Stafford's too. So maybe we'll talk about whether Matthew Stafford should get in the Hall of Fame someday too. But I got to be honest. I looked at this critically, and we're Seattle fans, so some of us are a little tinged by him leaving. I'm not. It's a business. But I still think, even with the year he had in Denver, he'd get in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. So next quick question we want to answer is, and it's kind of obvious since we both think he'd get in the Hall of Fame if he never threw another pass now, is will Russell Wilson get in the Hall of Fame by the end of his career? And we're just going to do this real quick, but I think by the end of his career, let's say he plays 5 more years, and Russ is talking like he wants to play Tom Brady type years, but you can talk about it, but you got to be about it. It's not the easiest thing, and sometimes it's not in your control. But his counting stats are going to be as high as anybody but the top of the top. They won't be Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers way, but they'll be higher than pretty much anybody else until this era of quarterbacks comes and retires, like the Mahomes and the Allens. They will pass him, but from the people that came before him, he's going to have some of the top stats. It'll be him, Roethlisberger, and the guys I just mentioned. And that's it. Nobody else is going to be close in the counting stats. So I think it's clear he'll have Hall of Fame credentials, and he could play himself to being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Also, I think he honestly will be in the Hall of Fame. I also think that he's probably going to leave the Broncos in that time and probably go to a new team. So
you think he's going to get traded? Because that's a big contract. Maybe they'll cut him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe they'll cut him.
I think they're going to cut him, and probably earlier than 5 years. I think. So I think
it is the NFL, which stands for not for long.
Yes, I think he will be on a new team, if not after this season, maybe. So I think he's gonna do good on whatever this team is, because I haven't seen the Broncos be good in a while, not ever since Peyton Manning and all that. So I think he's gonna be on a good team, and he's gonna be good. He's gonna be better. So I think he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
All right, there you have it. We both think that if he retired right now, Russell Wilson would be a Hall of Famer. And we think in the future he has a chance to even be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Thanks for watching us today. Make sure you go and watch our other videos. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification button so you know when our new videos are coming out. I'm Marlon.
I'm Elion.
Thank you for watching Generation Gap Sports.